there's so much to talk about, but we do have to address
this. Using mercury, which is illegal, but illegal miners use it. The multiple is very similar to cocaine. So even narcos are adapting. They say, you know what? If they catch me with a kilo of cocaine in a highway, I'm going to jail straight. If they find me with a couple of kilos
of mercury,
no, of gold. They'll applaud me, probably. So they're shifting. The criminal structures are shifting. Now it's not only drugs. Now it's drugs. It's illegal mining.
Performance in its results. Externally,
personally, I think we can always dream for a better way to do things, but the result is that the people of Venezuela now see hope, now see a light at the end of the tunnel. There's 500,000 Venezuelans in Ecuador, a lot of them that left with nothing, and they had to, relearn life. And I see most of them, if not all of them, happy with this result.
I think it has to do with credibility, credibility that allows us to build.
It's always difficult when you're at war, and we're at war. We're at war against narco-terrorism. If you add up the amount of fighters, say from the three largest, they're not gangs anymore, they are transnational narco-terrorist groups. We are today above 60,000 armed men and women. And it's very difficult to fight this in a traditional way, almost impossible. Also because throughout time, these criminal organizations have adapted to our system.
Strategic partnerships, long-term sustainable investment.
They know exactly what to do. They know exactly how to get caught. They know how to present an habeas corpus. They know how to play the game. So by using all the democratic, let's say, ways, rules, they know how to play them better. That's the reality. We're fighting a war that is not only on the street. It's a war that is in courts, is a war that is in the media, is a war that is in social media also, it's a complete war against evil and narco-terrorism.
In the region, and a constructive role in...
We have to face that. I think that Panama and Ecuador are facing a problem with narco-traffic. We just finished 2025 with an enormous amount of drug seized. 155 metric tons. That's a lot of cocaine.
That's a
lot of cocaine.
A very turbulent geopolitical...
We have regional institutions in Latin America. OAS mainly.
Yes.
Some others in the United Nations. But the problem is that when you go to exercise your right as a country to the OAS, for example, they are very weak, to say the least. They are very weak. They do nothing.
There seems to be a false, I don't want to call it a debate, but a false choice between...
But I just do want to pick up on something the President said, which is the record of one country removing another country's leader simply because they can is not great. In Panama, in Haiti, in Iraq, let's not forget the US said we're coming to liberate you, in Libya, that it's not enough simply to make one leader disappear. The world keeps imagining that nothing could be worse than the leader that they've got, and then finding to their horror that things can actually get worse. Which is why a principle of not doing this has long been with us, because it's not about getting rid of the one person.
Stability and security, and giving up principles and autonomy in order to secure that.
And there are other options to going in and capturing a leader and removing them. There are other ways that an international community can support people to end up with a government that is their choice. And so I think when it comes to Venezuela and Latin America, we need to think, well, what happened to those other means of supporting Venezuelans to ensure that the person they elected to be president would be elected? And what's the difference between saying this is a judicial exfiltration, we're just taking this person to put them on trial in the United States, and saying we are now governing Venezuela. We are now in charge of Venezuela. You know, big responsibility. We'll see how that goes.
What's happening in Venezuela, in the region, President Noboa, if you don't mind.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.